and welcome to my channel. My name is Jasmine and I'm a final year vet student in the UK. As you can tell from the title, this video is going to be on some things that I wish I knew before starting vet school. If you managed to get a place in vet school, congratulations, and I hope that this video can make you better prepared for starting vet school. If you find this video useful or adds any value to you, could you please give me a like and subscribe, as it will really help my channel. Okay, so number one, getting into vet school is the hardest part. And I hope that can make you relax a little bit, because I know you may be nervous to start vet school, but really getting in is much harder than staying in. So we had to be competing against thousands of other people to get a place in vet school. So before getting in, we had to make sure we had the right grades. We had to make sure we had the right work experience. We had to do a good personal statement. We had to pass the interview. So many things. And even if you did have all those things, it didn't even guarantee that you would get a place. So you've done all that and you've secured your place. Once in vet school, there's no more competition. As long as you pass your exams and do what you're meant to do, like work experience wise, EMS, all that, everyone will graduate and become a vet. That's not to say that it won't be hard. You obviously still need to work hard to get those grades and to pass, but you're not competing against anyone anymore. So another great thing is nobody cares about your grade. Like, even with other degrees, you have you get a third, 2, 2, 2, 1 first. And I know it's great to be aiming for first and everything, but it's also great to know that no one actually cares. So the pass mark on the vet med course is 50%. And there are many professors, lecturers that have said, my tutors even have said, what do you call a person that graduated with 51%? And the answer is a doctor. Because even if you get 51% and the pass mark is 50%, you're still a vet at the end of the day. When you're going for interviews or trying to get a job, they don't ask about your grades. When you pass and graduate, you're a member of the RCVS, and that's all that matters qualification wise. You got the qualification, obviously it's about the personality and everything as well when you try to get a job. But that should relieve some pressure, because this course is so hard. You don't need the extra pressure of, I need to get the top grades, top grades, top grades. Again, I'm not saying that it's not great to aim for that, but I just want to help reduce some pressure that you might feel, especially in the first year. It's very overwhelming. I also want to emphasize this because I don't want you to be focusing on work. It's really hard, and you can get in your head and spend hours revising in the library, but it's really important to do some extracurricular activities to just balance it out, because seriously, it's so easy to just stay in your room and do hours trying to understand something, or hours of work, but you don't need to do that. You don't need to put all that pressure on yourself. Maybe when it comes to exam times, but certainly not throughout the whole year. Don't be afraid to ask for help. It's expected. Veterinary medicine is a tough course. The profession itself has a very high suicide rate. So if you need it, ask for help. You can ask your lecturers, you can ask your tutor. Your school might have an advice center. I know RVC does, and it's really, really good. At the advice center, you can speak to a psychologist, a counselor, an advisor, and you wouldn't be the only person that they have seen that may be struggling or just wants to speak to someone. You must make sure that if you are feeling any type of pressure, or you feel like you need any help, you must ask for it. It's almost a fact that you will not be the only person feeling how you feel. The people in the university will have dealt with many other students who have felt the same way over the years. Do not struggle through your problems alone. You do not need to buy all the recommended textbooks. I haven't used the textbook at all. I'm sure your uni will have a library where you can check out these textbooks, and really I don't think that you need the textbook so much that you need to buy it, because some of these textbooks can be £70 and the recommended list is a long list, especially when it comes to each module and each subject. So you could be spending so much on textbooks and you don't even use them. There are a few textbooks that some people use more than others, and also usually the older years sell their textbooks to younger years for cheaper. So if you really want to buy a textbook, then you should look on, well, we have a Facebook page, I'm sure your uni would have a Facebook page as well, and there will be loads of people selling their old books. So this is just a little warning that vet school can be expensive, because during the course, the whole 5 years, you have to do 12 weeks of AHEMS, which is placements with horses, pigs, lambing, those types of placements. And then you also have to do 26 weeks of clinical EMS. So that would be placements in vet clinics. And these you have to arrange yourself. So that's 38 weeks of placements that you have to do. And this is done in your summer, your Easter holiday, your Christmas holiday, any little space that you have that isn't at uni. They're like, nope, you don't get a break. You're doing placements. So during these placements, as I said before, you have to arrange them yourself. That means that you have to arrange your own accommodation if it's a far place, and you have to arrange your travel and your food and all that. And yes, it will be difficult to find placements where you live or around your uni, because imagine everyone doing the vet course at your uni will be looking for placements in that area so they don't have to travel and stuff. And I live in London, so obviously finding a lambing placement, I had to travel far. Even finding a pig placement, yeah, you have to travel, you will have to travel. And if it's far, obviously you need to get accommodation, you'll need to pay for transport, if you have a car, petrol, your food, all that. Yeah, this isn't to scare you, this is just a little heads up, like it would be nice to know before. When I started, well, I wasn't thinking about anything, I was just excited to start, and yeah, I just went with the flow and it didn't bother me or anything. But I just want you to know, this is something you may have already assumed, and your assumption would be correct. That is, the workload is quite intense. I did the graduate course, so the graduate year was super intense due to, it wasn't necessarily the actual work, it was the workload. So there is so much that you just need to put in your mind, and just, it is a lot. Trust me, it's a lot. So before this, I did a master's in assisted reproduction technology, and I actually found that degree so much easier than this degree. Like, I was getting distinctions, like it was good. This degree, have I got one distinction? Well, I think I've got one distinction, but I'm in my final year now, and yeah, all the rest, nah. But this is just to let you know that obviously we have to learn a lot, and I'm just telling you this now so that you can start learning little by little, start revising little by little, so that it doesn't all pile up at the end of the year when you have the exams and you're trying to cram. Because that's one thing that I wish I did from the beginning. And I know that you'll probably start the year, obviously like me, you'll be like, oh yes, I'm just going to do a little bit of revision every day. I'm going to do my notes and it will be gradual. Please try to stick to that. Everyone has that moment of that they're thinking that they're going to do that at the beginning of each year, but just try to actually stick to it, because it's not nice having to cram at the end. It's just too much. So my top tip would be to review little and often. So another thing I wish I knew earlier was how to revise properly. So this is obviously my 3rd degree, and for some reason I still don't really know how to revise properly, or I'm in the process of learning in my final year of my 3rd degree, which is ridiculous. So try and watch some YouTube videos. So I think the reason that I'm only learning now is because in the final year you have no more lectures at all. Everything is just placements in the hospital and placements that you're finding yourself. And because there are no lectures, I feel like I'm no longer learning that way. So I've had to find a different way to learn and try to remember stuff, because you need to know so much during these rotations. And for me, I've discovered that spaced repetition has worked tremendously for me. And I use Anki, which is really helpful for this spaced repetition type of learning. If you already know about this, then great, I'm just late to the game. But if you don't, I would really recommend YouTubing Anki and spaced repetition and the best ways to revise, the best ways to learn, because before this I was literally just writing notes over and over again, because in my head I'm actually doing something, like I'm writing, so that makes me feel like I'm learning. But I've learnt that is not good. So please just do some research on how it would be best for you to revise, and it would be great if you could just start from the 1st year. So those are just a few things that I really hope can help you ease into starting vet school, or even if you're in further years, then hopefully some of these tips it's not too late for some of these tips. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you the best of luck in vet school. Bye!